Happy Tuesday. Good morning. Good morning. Hope you guys are ready to get the day started. Hope you're ready to get the day started. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show. My name is Yamitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please make sure you share the show because sharing is caring. If your friends and family do not have Facebook, send them over to the YouTube channel. They can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows over there. Let me share this right fast. Y'all, I'm gifting myself a new computer. Somehow it will happen. Some way. Watch. Because this me and this computer, we've had our time. Good morning. So please make sure you share the show because sharing is caring. Friends and family don't have Facebook, send them to the YouTube. Y'all should know my stuff by now. Send them over to the YouTube channel. They don't have that. There is a podcast. They don't do that. We have 5 books. So we are excited. We are excited. So yesterday, y'all, was my birthday. Excuse me. And I'm birthday partied out. I did nothing big and exciting like last year. Y'all, this is a back scratcher. People say, Jojo, what is this? This is a back scratcher. Because my back itches often. I have no idea why. So I keep this handy so I don't have to be squirming to scratch my back. So yesterday was my birthday. It was, Rosie got me yesterday. She really, first of all, if y'all know Rosie, she is not up at that time of morning unless she is forced to be, and that is school. And so for her to make that for me, that was so sweet. It made me cry. Well, I was treated to crab legs, which is one of my favorites. And I had a 2-hour massage, which was also my favorite. And what else did I do? I worked. That was it. So it was a great birthday. So I will not complain. So thank you guys so much for the birthday wishes. And everybody seemed to love the birthday crown. And so yeah, it was a good day. I cannot complain. It was a good birthday. I am 45 years young and I feel good. I am 45. It feels funny because you know when you're like 16, you're like, oh my God, my mama's 45. Ew. Like my mama, oh, now you 45 and you dare somebody to tell you that you might be old. Boy, what? I'm still young. I still look good. All right, so let's get right into, good morning, Kiva. Good morning, Miss Valerie. See, I have to open up another thing because the comments are not showing on here for some reason. So I have to open it up so that I can see. All right. Great morning, everyone. So let's get right into the quote of the day. We have 2. The first one is, life is not lost by dying. Life is lost minute by minute, day by day, by dragging day in all the 1,000 small, uncaring ways. That's by Stephen Bennett. Life is not lost by dying. Life is lost minute by minute, day by dragging day in all the 1,000 small, uncaring ways. Some of us are waiting for life to happen, and we're losing it every second of the day by not being aware that it is already here. Because we're waiting on what it is. It is every moment, and we lose. So, I love that quote. That was from March of this year. If procrastination will redirect your life so that you will become more dedicated to always thinking about doing something. You'll become more dedicated to never getting to it. You'll become more dedicated to one day. You'll become more dedicated to all those things. So, y'all, let me know if it has frozen on this end, because it looks like it has on this end, and I can't tell. Wonderful world of technology. So, let's get right into the fearless thought of the day. The fearless thought of the day it's kind of twofold. It's transition of freedom and things I wish I learned or knew when I was 25. Because when I was 25, I had, when I was 25, there were other things going on. At 25, I was getting married to a 51-year-old. I was doing all the things at 25. By 25, I had a kid. I was living on my own. I had graduated from college, and I was getting married. So that was interesting. So we're going to talk about the things I wish I learned, and we're going to talk about transition of freedom. So this is book 2. This is my second book, if you've never read it. The first one is Fearless Woman, Born to Give Thanks. But this is the second one, Transition of Freedom. And I don't know why I picked it up this morning, because I was looking for something else. But on page 50 of this, and this is chapter 58, it says there was some transitionary thoughts. So my transition of freedom, and I realized these are questions that this is what I felt like when I first left my abuser. And your crazy doesn't have to be mine, but I think these questions can apply. These thoughts, they're not questions, can apply to anybody in any situation. So this is my book 2, and we're on page 50. And these are some thoughts that I had. I was at the shelter. I was getting counseling, and I had 2 kids. I had a preemie, y'all. She only weighed 4 pounds. She only weighed 1 pound when she was born. And even preemie clothes were too big. I had no money, no job, no place to live. Like, my ex-husband had cleaned out the bank account, so there was no money. Like, things were not looking, they were not looking great. They were not looking like, oh, I have a new lease on life. It was not looking like that at all. It was looking like, but what's really, like, what do you want to eat now that you're hungry? What was that looking like? So these are some transitionary thoughts that I had as I was going through. This is like the first week of counseling, fresh in the shelter. I mean, we were at the bare basics. So these are some things that I'll get to the 3 things I wish I learned, but these are some of the statements that I had. I had no idea who I was. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea why I was doing it. I had no idea why I was even going to where I was going. I had no idea in hell how to get to wherever it was I was supposed to be. I didn't know which direction to turn, what to say, how to be it. I didn't know anything. I didn't know me. I knew my name, and I knew that I was the mother of 2 girls, but I had no idea who I was. I often looked in the mirror and I just stared at myself. Even that was hard. So those are some of and I think everybody at some point can relate to those statements, but those are my transitionary thoughts. Like, okay, you have left, and now you've got to, what are you going to do now? Like, and people gave me all kinds of advice that I did not want. I didn't want it. And one of my pet peeves was when people tell you, they give you the standard Christian Bible verses. Joe, just pray about it, honey. Jojo, just pray. The Lord will make a way. Jesus be a fence. He's taking you this far. He'll take you on. Let the Lord lead you. I did not want blanket Christian statements. That was not helping me one iota. Because at that time, I was mad about everything and really mad at God. So you're going to tell me to pray that he helped me when I felt like he put me in that position? So that's a whole nother story. And so I really needed some answers to some things. And this is how I was feeling. And I think if we're honest with ourselves, we are all, at some point, we've all been in a transitionary period. I'm in one right now. I'm in one with a lot of things that this applies to, from my career to friendships to business moving forward. So y'all let me know if y'all can relate to any of this. I had no idea who I was. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea why I was doing it. I had no idea where I was going. I had no idea why I was going. I had no idea on how to get to wherever it was I was supposed to go. I didn't know which direction to turn, what to say, how to be it, and I didn't know anything. I didn't know me. How many of you, if you're honest with yourself, you can say, I don't even know me. I don't know. Like, who am I for real though? And it was in this moment that transition of freedom, it really started to, and I can articulate it now, but in the thick of things, I could not articulate what I was doing. I could not. I just knew that I could not stay crazy. I had to get past crazy. And it was in the working out of the process and having these real thoughts with myself and then coming up with those answers that the transition took place. It can't happen. It can't happen any other way. We're not going to say, ta-da, Jesus is going to touch you with a magic wand and it's going to be over. It don't work that way, boo. And some of us get mad and angry because it doesn't. Well, what we mad and angry about? I knew I was mad and angry at God. Oh, Jesus, what? Not go to church. What? What I'm going to go to church for? A to the men. A to the men, Miss Fallon. I would not go to church. I was not going to pray. I was not doing any of the things. Period. But when I took a minute to look at how many things I did not have the answer to. And I was like, well, JoJo, what do you know the answer to? Hence the quote I live by. Don't let what you cannot do interfere with what you can do. JoJo, what do you know? What do you know? If you don't know who you are, what do you know? Well, that was a hard question. Because you don't even know what you know. You don't know what you know. Because somebody else has told you so much. If we're real with ourselves, 85% of our lives, what we think and what we assume that we know is because someone else has given us that version to believe in. We believe and think what we know because that's what Mama taught us. That's what she taught us about the world. That's what she taught us about relationships. That's what Daddy taught us about relationships and money. So when it comes to really knowing you, and you got to peel back those layers, you may ask yourself these questions or have these thoughts. You don't know where you're going. You don't know who you are. You don't know which direction to turn, how to turn, when to turn. And that is a perfect definition of being stuck in crazy. Period. So some things I wish I knew right then at 25, marrying. Well, I was 27 by this point with 2 kids. Some things I wish I knew about myself is that, JoJo, you absolutely can make good decisions. You can make good decisions by yourself. You can make good decisions with your own mind. You don't need nobody else's help. You can make the best decision for yourself. 1. It's okay to stand alone. Jojo, it is absolutely for you to make a statement in your life and for you to stand alone on that statement. It's okay. Nobody's going to die. They're not going to get hurt. Their feelings are not going to get hurt. It's okay. The third one is your voice is your voice. Your voice is absolutely your voice. Can't nobody take it away from you. They can't hinder it. They can't stop it. Your voice is your voice. Period. Let me share this link right here. Hold on, y'all. Because I see that this is wanting to be special this morning. So let me bring everybody else over here. Hold on, y'all. I want to share the other link. I don't know why this one keeps going out. So the things I wish I learned, that I can make the best decisions. It's okay to stand alone. My voice is my voice. And the fourth thing is that my mind is my superpower. My mind is absolutely my superpower. I wish I had known those things in the beginning. Y'all, here is the link to, because I don't know if y'all know, well, some of y'all know that I do live on 2 pages. Here's the link to the other page if you want. I don't know why it keeps going out, but you can click over there. It's the same. Well, I'm over there. So the 3 things I wished I knew: I make the best decisions for myself, by myself. It's okay to stand alone, right? It's okay for me to make that decision and stand alone. My voice is my voice. I have something to say. And what I have to say is just as powerful as anybody else's words. We can be made to believe that our voice doesn't count, that it doesn't matter. We can be made to think and believe that what we have to say is not important. It's so not important that don't nobody want to listen. Or it's so not important that they're not even around they don't even acknowledge that we said anything. But your voice is your voice. And it has meaning, it has purpose, and it has something to say about, you have something to say about your immediate surroundings and your future. The 4th thing I wish I learned is that my mind is my superpower. I wish I had learned that. I wish I had learned that early, that my mind is my superpower. Because it is in that not knowing things that you don't know what you have. And you don't know what you have because maybe no one ever told you, 1. Or maybe they never told you because they don't want you to be aware, number 2. Or number 3, maybe you were not ready to be aware of the power that lives inside of you. Maybe you were not ready yet to harness that, to understand it, for it to grow, for it to move and be who you need it to be. Maybe you were not ready for that. But when you begin to, how I want to articulate this, when you begin to understand that some things are going to have to happen in order for life to get better. Some things are going to have to happen, right? And they ain't happening by external forces. They're going to have to happen because JoJo wants them to happen. I cannot say I want to be a millionaire and I not begin to even open up my mind to the possibility of millionaire things. Right? If I want to be a millionaire, I cannot think about the poverty mindset. I can't hold on to that. If you come into my bathroom in my house, if you've ever read, what's Not the Millionaire Next Door? It might be. No. It's another book. Anyway, there's an insert inside of it. And it says, say these things to yourself every morning. It's in my bathroom, hanging on my mirror. No, you probably can't see yourself brush your teeth, but you gonna recite those things so that you know that you are absolutely qualified to be a millionaire. You are absolutely qualified to be exceptional, to have abundance in your life. And so when I came to the realization that everything or every change that I was seeking, thank you. I knew it was something, Tiffany. Thanks. Think and Grow Rich is the book. If I wanted to see some change, me waiting for it to happen was never going to happen. I was it. And the longer I waited, which my quote from today, procrastination, and this quote is me talking to myself on March 30th. Yes, I don't know if that's what it's called. I have to look at it and see. And so this was my thought process. This was 9:30 a.m. March 30th. Procrastination cannot have my future. It tells you that you're not ready, you're scared, and that it has to be perfect. It will redirect your life to the point where the only progression you have is to be more dedicated to your procrastination. That was my note to myself in my phone. I don't know what I was procrastinating about, but apparently I felt really strongly about it. And some of us are dedicated to that procrastination. We're dedicated to not having the answers of things. We're dedicated to the process of not learning. We're dedicated to the process of saying, I don't know. Because saying, I don't know, relieves you from the responsibility of knowing. It doesn't make the problem go away. But because you can say you don't know you assume you don't have to take responsibility. Is that fair? So if you don't take responsibility and you procrastinate, then you make it everybody else's fault. Then who are you really mad at though? So my transition of freedom, y'all. This is page 50 of my of book 2. If you haven't read it, please make sure you do so. Look, class, open your books to page 50, chapter 58. Here are some of my transitional thoughts. And please let me know if you've ever went through a growth process and you've had these thoughts or you have felt this way. If you've had any of these thoughts or felt this way, please let me know. So I know I'm not by myself. Okay? So this is when I'm doing my counseling at the women's shelter right here. Because this lady was asking me questions and I didn't know the answer to none of them. And I just didn't. I had no idea who I was. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea why I was doing it. I had no idea where I was going. I had no idea why I was going. I had no idea in hell on how to get to wherever it was I was supposed to be. I didn't know which direction to turn, what to say it, how to be it. I didn't know anything. I didn't know me. I knew my name. I knew I was a mother of 2 girls, but I had no idea who I was. I often looked in the mirror and just stared at myself. Even that was hard. These are some of my transitional thoughts that if you're real and honest with yourself, I gotta sneeze. If you've never asked yourself, who am I? Why not? If you've never questioned where you are, why not? Why are we accepting this? And it was in this process, like these are all the thoughts that I had, right? Then that led me to the questions of why. Like, why are these things happening? And it led me to understand that everything that I did not like, I absolutely could change. Now, I did not understand the journey of changing it, but I understood that staying right there was going to keep me staying right there. And I think some of us, we forget that whatever we say we want is going to require an action from us. It is going to require movement from us. It is going to require us doing something about what we say we don't like. So four things I wish I had learned when I was 25 and getting married to a 51-year-old. That JoJo, you don't know the half, boo. Number one, that I can make the best decisions for myself. When we don't feel confident in our decision-making abilities, we don't make good decisions because we don't feel confident in them. We may not feel confident in them because someone may have told you, you're stupid. Someone may have told you, well, that was a stupid idea. Well, that was dumb. And so now it has become a part of you. And so you assume you don't make good decisions. Number one, you make the best decisions for yourself. Number two, it's okay to stand alone. It is okay to stand alone. It is okay to stand up for what you believe in, not anyone else's. Number three, your voice is your voice. You have something to say. It is powerful. It is important, and it needs to be said. Whatever it is, it needs to be said by your voice. And one of my quotes that I had to, let me show it to you. Like, I love this quote so much that I've written it on top of itself and stapled it together a couple of times. Someone is waiting to hear my voice. They will not move until I move. JoJo. Someone is waiting to hear my voice. They will not move until I move. Your voice is so powerful. Someone is waiting to hear your voice. They will not move until you move. So until you understand the power of who you are, that you can make the best decisions, that your voice is powerful and it is yours and you have something to say, someone else's life is hanging in the balance. Here's the second one. Strengthen your voice by speaking your truth. February 28, 2018. This sticky note, been through it. These are my reminders. Strengthen your voice by speaking your truth. Strengthen your voice by speaking your truth. Period. So those are some of my quotes that I absolutely have to have. Your voice is your voice. And the fourth one, JoJo, is your mind is your superpower. You are smart. You are amazing. You can accomplish and be whatever you choose to be. And that goes for everyone. And then when those things become natural to you, meaning you've got to remind yourself of them every day till they become a part of you, till you get comfortable saying it. Right now, here's what I want you to understand. Right now, having this conversation is uncomfortable because you're not used to having it. You're not used to saying these words to yourself. You're not used to saying, JoJo, you're smart. You're not used to saying you have a voice. You're not used to saying your mind is a superpower. They don't feel comfortable in your mouth because you're not used to saying them yet. So they sound funny coming out of your mouth. You feel uncomfortable saying those things because you're not used to saying them. And that's okay. All of us started at that point. None of us, well, I don't know about that. I can speak for myself. I didn't talk that way. My daddy used to talk that way to me, and somewhere along the way I lost it. And so me coming back to myself to say these things, it made me uncomfortable to have those conversations and to have them with myself and to say those words. Hey, JoJo, you make the best decisions. I do. Yes, girl, you do. It's okay to stand alone, JoJo. Your voice is your voice. Your mind is your superpower. I had to learn it was okay to say those things. And right now, y'all, to be honest, it's hard because you're not used to saying those things to yourself. It's difficult and you think you sound crazy because you're not used to saying those things. You're used to saying, well, that was stupid. Well, that was dumb. Well, how could you make that decision? Well, what you're used to talking down to yourself and not giving yourself permission to be great. So it feels uncomfortable to have that conversation. When I first started talking about money, it was so uncomfortable for me to have the conversation, I would cry. That's how uncomfortable it was. When I started talking about my growth and the things that I was changing, it made me feel uncomfortable for the person I was sharing it with, because I wasn't used to saying it myself. And the more I said it, the more the words got comfortable in my mouth. And the more I got comfortable with saying, the easier it became. So this transition, y'all, it is a process. Every step of the way, this is how I was feeling. This is how I was feeling every step of the way. From deciding, like when I went back to school, I felt this way. Like, JoJo, what you mean you're going to go get a master's degree? What does that mean? And so every step of the way, at some point, I felt this way. And if y'all have ever felt this way, please let me know, so I know I'm not the only one. I had no idea. These are my transitional thoughts. I had no idea who I was. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea why I was doing it. I had no idea where I was going. I ain't know jack nothing. I had no idea why I was going. I had no idea how to get to wherever it was I was supposed to be. I didn't know which direction to turn, what to say it, how to be it. I didn't know anything. I didn't even know me. How am I fixing to raise 2 kids when I don't know nothing? How I'm do that? Somebody tell me. How I'm going to raise 2 kids with my family 400 miles away. I'm fresh out of a shelter, living with former church members. My ex-husband has drained the checking and the savings account. I got on somebody else's used underwear. She bought me a toothbrush at the Dollar Tree. I don't have diapers for my kids. There is no milk. I wasn't allowed to breastfeed, so that's not an option. And I have a 7-year-old who at some point has got to go to school. What am I supposed to do? Somebody tell me, what was I supposed to do? Because if one more person would have said, JoJo, pray about it, baby. JoJo, the Lord will make a way. JoJo, he'll be a fence, honey. I know it's hard right now, but trust in the Lord. No, I don't want to hear no parts of that. I needed answers to what I did not know. And I didn't know myself. And yet I was in charge of 2 humans to guide and direct us wherever we may go. And I didn't even know where we was going. Somebody tell me, what was I supposed to do? That's how I felt. In my transition to freedom, that is exactly how I felt. I was overwhelmed. I was sad, throwing some depression, throwing some postpartum, throwing the kitchen sink. I had all of those feelings, and I still had to function as a mother and an adult. Child, what I did not need is a blanket statement about God. I didn't need another prayer. I didn't need you to tell me to go to church. I didn't need those things. I needed someone to say, Judge, today you do this. And 30 minutes from now, you go do this. Tomorrow, you will go do this. And Friday, you will do this. Saturday and Sunday, you will do this. I needed directions. Girl, didn't I? I made it through, boo. But when I tell you it was touch and go, because sometimes our transition of freedom is not beautiful. It's not perfect. It's not set up the way you want it to. It never looks like what you think you didn't want to. Right. What? A scripture? What? I was not even picking up a Bible. What? I wasn't fixing to pray. Nope. I wasn't praying about nothing. Not happening. Because I had been the preacher's wife. I had been in the church. I saw when my prayer went nowhere. I saw what the man of God was doing for me, slapping me in the church office. I knew that. So in my transition to freedom, I felt all of these things. I felt every last one of them. And there seemed to be no one who could understand what I was feeling to the point of telling me what I needed. And so, y'all, when I share how to live past crazy in this transition of freedom right here, let me read it again. I felt these things. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know why I was doing it, where I was going, why I was even going to go there. I didn't know how to get to wherever it was I was supposed to say I was going. I didn't know which direction to turn, what to say it, how to be it. I didn't know anything. I didn't know me. I didn't know when I tell you I didn't know my name. I did not know my name, boo. Throwing some kids, honey, and I was holding on by a thread, boo. And it is in that transition of freedom that some of us, we not only get discouraged, right, because it's hard. We get upset because it's difficult. We're angry at everybody in the world because our transition to where we say we want to be may not look like how we want it to look like. Like when I left my abuser, I wanted my transition to be, oh, I left him and I stepped right into a life of freedom. Well, no, I had to work through some things. It didn't work that way. And some of us, that's why we're not making a decision to leave a job, a career, a situation, a friendship, because we don't know what's here and we don't even want to go through the process between here and here. And some of us are dedicated we're dedicated to all the pain and hurt in our life. We are so dedicated to it that we take up for it. And we get mad when somebody talk about it. Quote of the day: life is not lost by dying. Life is lost minute by minute, day by dragging day, in all the thousand small uncaring ways. Life is not lost by dying. It is the things that we do every day that we don't pay attention to. Every minute that we're not aware that we are alive and that we are moving and being, that we are divine creation. Every minute that we forget that, that's when the day gets longer. That's when the day drags by. That's when we have no direction. The second quote: procrastination. This was a note to myself. It will redirect your life to the point where the only progression you have is to be more dedicated to your procrastination. And are you procrastinating making a decision? Are you in that transition period and you know the next steps, but you don't want to make them because it's going to require some things of you? So 4 things I wish I learned when I was 25, honey. And in the midst, before I even started this transition period, before I even knew what was about to happen. You make the best decisions, JoJo. You make the best decisions. It's okay to stand alone. It's okay to stand alone. Thank you, Cree. Your voice is your voice, period. Your voice is your voice. You have something to say and it must be said. It is powerful. It is your truth. Honey, stand flat-footed and say it. Your mind is your superpower. I wish I had known those 4 things about myself at 25. I'm 45 now. And, you know, at 25, you think 45 is old. Shoot. At 45, I still think like I'm 16. So there's that. I still feel like it. My old quote: someone is waiting to hear my voice. They will not move until I move. Period. Your voice is your voice. Strengthen your voice by speaking your truth. Strengthen your voice by speaking your truth. This is from February 28th, 2018. This quote is, look, let me go back to the original copy. 2017. Someone is waiting for me to move. They will not move until I move. You are powerful, my friend. I wish I had known those things about myself when I was 25. I wish someone had told me about those things when I was in my transition period. This is page 50 of my book 2. If you haven't read it, please go read it. I wish I had, when I didn't even know myself, I wish I had those things on a sticky note. You make the best decisions, JoJo. It's okay to stand alone. Your voice is your voice, and your mind is your superpower. If we can just acknowledge those 4 things, y'all, just for a minute, you will be further along than you ever imagined. You would be so much further along right now. It would be unimaginable that you even started where you started. So on this absolutely wonderful, wonderful day, if you have ever felt any of these things, let me know. If you've ever thought these things, let me know. I can't be the only one. And some of us are in that transitionary period right now. I know I am. I am. Can I proclaim this? And Tiffany may be if Tiffany, I was going to call you Tiffany Mullins, not Tiffany Mullins, not Tiffany Bruce. Those are the same people. Tiffany Owens, if she's still on here. She's the only one that knows this. But I am in a transitionary period right now. And in this transitionary period is, I don't know this part of me, but I am willing to figure that part out. And because I'm willing to figure that part out, I'm reminding myself I make the best decisions. It's okay to stand alone on this thing. My mind is my superpower. I'm in a transitionary period because before we had a conversation, I had no idea. I knew what I wanted, but I didn't know which direction to turn. Sometimes when you proclaim a thing, that answer comes. Yes, ma'am. Oh, come on, Miss Cree. Absolutely. Because if we do not tell it to ourselves, who will? Nobody. And we have been conditioned to assume and think less than. We've just been conditioned to think that. Not because nobody loved us any less. It's because that's all they've known. But I'm absolutely in a transitionary period. In my business, in my personal, in my career. Absolutely in a transitionary period. And I've had all these thoughts. If you've been in your transitionary period, whatever it may be, if you've ever felt these things, please let me know. Good morning, Lynn. Please let me know. I had no idea who I was. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea why I was doing it. I had no idea where I was going. I had no idea in hell how to get to wherever it was I was supposed to be. I didn't know which direction to turn, what to say, how to say it, how to be it. I didn't know anything. I didn't even know myself. I knew my name. I knew that I was a mother of 2 girls, but I had no idea who I was. And I often looked in the mirror and just stared at myself, and even that was difficult. That is what I thought during my transitionary period. That is what I thought every single day forever, for a very long time. Good morning, Miss Joe. And I felt that way because things had become so crazy that I lost the essence of who I was. And so I had no idea. I had absolutely no idea. And so the 4 things I wish I knew. Yesterday was my birthday. Thank y'all so much for the birthday wishes. 4 things I wish I knew at 25 before I began down the road to even, honey, life changed at 25. I wish I'd known that I made the best decisions. It's okay to stand alone. Your voice is your voice. You have something to say, and it is absolutely important. And that my mind is my superpower. Yes to the ma'am. And it is in the awareness of the thing, okay? Remember the mountain and the molehill we talked about? That's that right there. And it is in awareness of the thing that you decide what it's going to be. What you going to do? You going to do it, or you going to stand there and look at it? And standing there looking, and some of us, my procrastination, and some of us are procrastinating right in the center of this thing. We're procrastinating right in it. I know. I need to take... I'm so ready for a birthday trip, y'all. Y'all have no idea. I'm so ready. Procrastination. It will redirect your life to the point where the only progression you have is to be more dedicated to your procrastination. Yes. That's why realtors started telling folks what they feel when they purchase a home that is known, so they don't go back out. That right. Listen, y'all. Thank you, Cree. This journey is amazing, and it is okay to question. I think that's the fun part. I don't want it to be the daunting part. I want it to be the fun part. So if you are in a spot where you don't know, you have no idea, you don't know why, what, when, how, if you're there, please take the 4 things I wish I had known. You make good decisions. You can stand alone. It's okay to make a decision for yourself, period. And your voice is your voice. And your mind is your superpower. Period. You are allowed all things. And as Tiffany said, when you become aware of the thing, now you are charged with doing something about the thing. If you choose not to do anything about the thing, then you are agreeing to the thing, whatever it may be. If you become aware that you perhaps don't like this friend, or you don't like your financial situation, or you don't like your mental situation, when you become aware of that and you choose not to do anything about it, right? Then you are agreeing to the limitations that are set before you. Can we say that is fair? Is that fair to say? When you become aware of the thing, you got to do something about it, period. So on this lovely day, please make sure you read book 2 of Transition to Freedom. It is on Amazon. 4 things I wish I had known. You make the best decisions. It's okay to stand alone. Your voice is your voice, and your mind is your superpower. Period. So on this lovely day, let's go back to the quote of the day, and we had 2. Life is not lost by dying. Life is lost minute by minute, day by dragging day, in all the 1,000 small, uncaring ways. You've got to be aware that life is happening every day. And you absolutely have control on you to impact your life today. The second quote is, this is my note to myself. Procrastination cannot have my future. It tells you that you're not ready, you are scared, and then it has to be perfect. Procrastination will redirect your life to the point where the only progression you have, JoJo, is to be more dedicated to your procrastination. What are we procrastinating about? Are you in that transitionary period today? And if so, what are we going to do about it? Yes, ma'am. Life is happening every second of the day. Sometimes we can say this day is dragging by, like this the longest day ever. But are we aware of what we're doing? Are we aware? Procrastination cannot have my future. Y'all, let me tell you that power of now. And I read the book a while ago, but I don't know what happened that I finally got it. That when I act now, I take away every opportunity of JoJo saying no to JoJo. When I tell you it has resulted in employees. I never thought I would have an employee, let alone more than one. I never thought that I would own a bookstore. I thought it, but I didn't understand the implementation of it until I looked at the power of now and took away all the obstacles. Because sometimes we impose our own obstacles so that we don't achieve our goal. How crazy is that? The power of now, right, has allowed me to, from April to June, do so many overwhelming things. Oh, y'all, I shared that with y'all already. It has allowed me to do so many amazing things from April to June. 2 books, 2 TV shows. It has just been The power of now. When I act on it, I take away the responsibility, the opportunity of JoJo saying no to me. Don't count a no you never received. Don't count a no you never received. If you're in your transitionary period, don't count that no yet. Do something first before you count that no. You haven't got it, so it don't count. Don't assume, because you know when you assume, what's the first 3 letters? What's the middle letter? And what's the last 2? You assume, and then you make a but out of you and me. So no assumptions today. Don't count that no. You ain't got it yet, so it don't count. Right? Act now. Do something right now. So I hope you guys have enjoyed. And then yesterday, y'all, I asked y'all to do something yesterday. We talked about no more excuses. Take a deep breath and jump in. We talked about what are you preparing for? Are you preparing for nothing, something you don't know? Are you preparing for your future or your past? Some of us are preparing for the past because we assume we have no future. That's my quote by JoJo. Some of us are preparing for the past, listen, because we assume we have no future. That means we are honoring our past hurts, feelings, and limitations. And because we honor that, we relive them every day because we assume that there's no life past our past. We're afraid of the future because we don't know what it is. We're not sure how to prepare because we've never been taught to prepare. If you've never been taught to prepare, that's okay too. We're going to prepare it here. Remember, you're an engineer, engineering school. Remember that 101, all the tools you have are in your hand, that you are a small business owner. In order, you need to get paid. You need to take ownership of yourself. So yesterday, I asked that you guys take a deep breath and jump in and embrace the ride. And the quote from yesterday, y'all, when I tell you it got me yesterday, I will prepare and someday my chance will come, by Abraham Lincoln. Prepare and your chance will come. It is in the preparation. And some of us are preparing for the past. That's why nothing good can seem to happen, because you're preparing for the past. 4 things I wish I knew at 25. JoJo, you make the best decisions. It's okay to stand alone. Your voice is your voice and your mind is your superpower. So I hope this has helped someone today, guys. If it has, please make sure you share the show, because sharing is caring. If your friends and family don't have Facebook, send them over to the YouTube channel. They can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows over there. There is a podcast. So it is the Live Past Crazy show. It is everywhere where podcasts are. We have 5 books. 3 are on Amazon and 2 are up for pre-order. If you send me your email address, I'll send you the link for those. Don't forget to catch Girls Let's Talk Atlanta on Thursdays. It is on all social media. And I will post the link. I keep forgetting to post the link to that, so that you can watch that as well. Thursday of this week, I forgot when I'm going to be Thursday of this week. I'll make sure I post it so you can keep up with that. Don't forget the book club, the bookstore, Read Fearlessly, Sunday at 2 o'clock. I'm going to be taking pictures of the books today and tomorrow so that you can go ahead and see the books that we have available for sale. Remember, you're only paying for shipping for those books. bit.ly/Read Fearlessly so that you can register to get into the Facebook group so that you can see the books that we have. And I think that's it. Sister Rise Retreat, bit.ly/Sister Rise, is October 16th through the 18th in Savannah, Georgia. There are 10 tickets left, so please make sure you grab your ticket and bring a friend with you. So, hope you have an amazing day. I think I've given you guys all the updates. Please go read book 2. If you ain't read book 1, read it first, because you'll be so lost in book 2, Transition of Freedom. So I hope you guys have an amazing day. Thank you, Lynn, so much. I'm just not seeing my technology has been insanely slow. Thank you for posting all of those, Lynn. I want you to be peaceful, period, because there's absolutely nothing after that. Something else I was going to tell y'all, but I cannot forget. I cannot forget. I can't remember what it was, but I think that's everything. Hope you have an amazing day. Please make sure you share because sharing is caring. And I will see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning. Have a good one.